Welcome back once again everyone, I'm Kate Plays Games, this is EVE Online, and we are halfway through our first advanced career tutorial. So let's request the next mission and move on with this chain, shall we? Okay, we're being sent to destroy an outpost in this system and we're being rewarded with an implant. Implants can do many things. This particular one is giving +1 bonus to our perception attribute. What does that do? That changes the speed of our skills. If we mouse over a skill group, like targeting, you'll see that two of the attributes, in this case intelligence and memory, show up. And if we mouse over spaceship command, we'll see that perception and willpower pop up. Each of your skills requires two attributes to train. If we right click on this skill and show the info on the attributes tab, of course, you will see which attributes it uses. And this has a primary attribute of intelligence and a secondary attribute of memory. Where can we see attributes? You can see them in the character sheet. So we'll go here, click on character, and then attributes. Here are our attributes, here's all 5 of them. And the way that skills work is that they will generate skills equal to the primary attribute plus half of the secondary attribute per minute. So if we look at energy grid upgrades, this will be getting primary attribute intelligence, which is 20, and secondary attribute memory, which is also 20, so 10 per minute. But because we are an alpha character, which is free to play, that gets halved. So we'll only be getting 15 skill points per minute. So if we can increase our intelligence or memory, it will speed up our training. Increasing the primary attribute will speed things up a lot more. And for this mission, we're going to be given something which will increase our perception to 21 points. So that will be good for Spaceship Command, which are things like Caldari Frigate. So Caldari Frigate 2 and Caldari Frigate 3 will be faster to train than the 2 hour 36 minute because our perception will have gone up by 1. And that's how skills and attributes and implants works. So let's accept and get on with this. I have made an extremely detailed guide on skills and training, well, 2 of them on this channel before. And on the way to the mission we can turn on our shield hardener because we know we're cap stable with it on, so why not just turn it on? One other thing we can do, we can come down here to the HUD options and go to configure ship health alert settings. You can configure these to whenever you want. I think I'm going to put my shield at 50%, so I will get a warning tone when our shield reaches 50%, and that will tell me, hey dummy, you need to turn on your shield repair unit. Everything else can pretty much stay where it is. Capacitor alert, I think we'll put up to 35. The way that shields and capacitor regenerate, it's not linear. So the shield will regenerate fastest at around 35 to 30%, and same with the capacitor. That's why I put capacitor at 35. So if we hit that, I get a tone that tells me, okay, this is as much as you can push the capacitor without it becoming unstable. Yes, I know, we're going to have to kill everything. Oh dear, what a shame, never mind. Go away, Aura. Oh, this guy's now in range. So I'll just annihilate this dude. There he goes. Oh, he's dropped some loot. And we're close enough to pretty much pick it up instantly. What has he got for us? Some ammo and some metal scraps. Not huge loot. Not terrible. Keep this guy at range. Just one-shot him. Ooh, he left a wreck as well. Some loot. And we'll kill the next guy while we're flying to the previous guy's loot. Yeah, we'll take that. Oh, lots of bad guys. Okay. To navigate in space, you just double-click. If you use the tactical overlay, this blue circle will show you what you're approaching, which is another good reason to always use the tactical overlay. I think we should move the damage ticker over here. Yeah, these guys are dying fairly quickly. Keep this guy at range now. And then this guy, we're going to be getting quite a lot of bounty from this mission, which is nice. And as I said, the Air Career Program wants us to kill 300 things, and it's just not going to take that long. Nothing else has dropped any loot. I'm not seeing any white squares in any of the wrecks. Okay, we're going to have to get a move on this way. These acceleration gates move you between rooms in a site. Some sites, such as this one, have multiple rooms, this being room 1, and the acceleration gate will sling us into room 2. Most of the time acceleration gates are locked until you've killed all the aggressive enemies in the area. Sometimes they're unlocked with keys which you can find in the area. This one is one of the ones that's locked until you've killed everything, I believe. Even if it wasn't locked, I would still have hung around to kill these guys because money. Every single bit of ISK is important, especially at this stage of the game. Well, only one of them dropped loot. Before we take the gate, because no other bad guys have spawned, I'm going to press Ctrl R and reload my guns and approach the acceleration gate. And right click and stack everything here. The different types of ammunition will do different amounts of damage at different ranges and use different amounts of capacitor. Antimatter is the highest damage, lowest range ammo, so I'm just going to use that because highest damage. We don't really care about the range. We have an afterburner which will move us into range. Okay, and apparently we need to destroy this building here. So we'll target lock it. We'll approach it. Turn the old afterburner on. And we'll open fire on it. Oh, and I'm going to stop firing on it because quite a few defense weapons have shown up. So let's just approach the first weapon. The good thing about these is that they don't move, so they're very easy to hit. Unless we overshoot them, like I just did. Whoops. Here, we'll just keep it at range. And I think we should take out the enemy ships next, and then the next and final gun turret. Okay, that's that done. Let's keep this guy at range. See how quickly we can kill him. Pretty much instantly. That's nice. And this guy. Also instantly. Good. Let's remove their damage from the field. Nothing in either of the wrecks, so we'll just approach the next sentry gun. And in fact, we'll just press Control Spacebar, bring the ship to a halt. So we're not moving and it's not moving, which means our gun turrets will not have to move, which means they will hit it all the time. We are managing to miss because we are outside of our optimal range, so maybe I should approach it a little bit closer. There it goes. Now I think we can destroy this station in peace. Structures always have such nice explosion effects. Nearly there. A couple more shots and boom, there it goes. Could just warp out, but I might want to stay for the explosion. You can press Ctrl F9 to clear the HUD, screenshot time. Boom! Nice. Bring back the HUD with Ctrl F9 again. Okay, let's dock, hand this mission in. reload the weapon so I don't have to remember to do it later. Still got plenty of ammunition. 600 loaded, another 1100 in cargo. We're not expending very much during missions. We've never had to reload during a mission yet. Okay, let's complete this mission. We'll request the next one, and we're going to be given a small shield booster one. That's okay, we already have a better version of that on our ship. And lots of cash. Just close, and we shall right click and plug in this implant. It says implants are lost when unplugged and when you die, which means when your escape capsule is destroyed. Are you sure you want to plug this one in? Yes please, thank you. So that now means that our Caldari Frigate 2 and Caldari Frigate 3 and anything else that uses the perception skill, which I think is weapons? Gunnery? Yeah. So small hybrid turret 2 and small hybrid turret 3 will have gotten faster to train because we now have perception 21 instead of 20. There it is, 21. If we click on the augmentations tab of the skill of the character sheet, here it is. This is what we have. It is the cheapest and crappiest of implants. They go up to like +5, which will increase perception by 5, but that will cost many hundreds of millions of ISK, and we're not quite at that level yet. Okay, we've accepted the mission. Let's just unload the stuff we don't need and go and do it. We could fit the other shield booster and have 2 shield boosters. I mean, the capacitor would only last a matter of seconds doing it that way, but it would double our repair. That's a judgment call. You can either run 1 booster for longer or run 2 boosters for a shorter length of time. Sometimes you might need the double boost, but I don't think we will. This is, after all, only a tutorial agent. And the air career program's waving at me again, and something here is doing the same. Yes, our journal. Then more trash talk from the bad guys. Blah 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 blah. Let's just target them and blow them up. Go for this guy first, keep him at range. You can use this button here or click and drag exactly the same weapons into a single stack. Just makes it easier to manage. That's that guy dead. We'll just kill that guy as well. We'll go and investigate the wrecks because they both dropped some loot. Just move this here. Loot all that. Then we'll go to the next one because it's fairly close. Lock everything else up, because I believe we have enough skills to have 5 targets. Yes we do, jolly good. Who's the closest one? You. This guy's the next to die. Now he's in range. And the other guy next. Dead. And this guy. Now we'll just start looting the wrecks as we go. Even though by moving around I am making my turrets miss, but that can't really be helped sometimes. We'll just target these guys because they're closer. Ah, that's an interesting bit of loot. That is a micro warp drive, which is a faster version of the afterburner, but it consumes a lot of capacitor energy. Interesting though, we'll take a look at that when we get back in dock. There's some more loot in that wreck, so let's have a look at that. You're kind of missing these guys because I'm not doing keep it range, because I'm running around looting wrecks. There we go. As soon as we're back into keep it range mode, we're just hitting everything really easily. Oh, that guy had some loot. Let's go and get it. Pop. Alright, they're all dead. Sweet. Ah, interesting. That's quite a lot of decent loot. Oh, it's a remote tracking computer. That's a little bit annoying. Anything that says remote is things that can not be used on your own ship, but can be used to give that bonus to a friendly ship in your fleet. See, we're playing single player now, so remote capacitor transmitter would take some cap from us and give it to a friend, and this one would aid the turning speed and range of their weapons. A little bit annoying that they're both remote, but it can't really be helped. So we just click and drag and move all the stuff we're not going to use just to make some cargo space. Let's investigate this micro warp drive. And we could fit it, and that would make our maximum velocity 2,348 meters a second, which is a little bit faster than 822. But as you will see, just having the restrained micro warp drive turned on has reduced our total capacitor, because that's what micro warp drives do. Not only do they consume a hell of a lot each cycle, but they will also reduce your maximum capacity total by 20%. So they are very fast, but they're very brutal on your capacitor, so I think we'll leave that off this ship just now. So we'll just unfit it to give ourselves some more capacitor back. I'm going to talk to the agent, complete the mission. What's next? Mission 8. Fly to the hotel, retrieve the VIPs. We're being given some overdrive injector systems. These are passive, these do not need to be turned on. These will increase the base speed of the ship by 10.5%, which will then be multiplied by any afterburners or micro warp drives you have. So adding these things can make you pretty fast, but as we see, they do have the drawback of reducing our cargo capacity by 15%. That's not a huge issue. So, how many low slots do we have spare? All 3. Okay, we just click and drag, click and drag. So now when we simulate the ship, we're going 991 maximum velocity with the afterburner on. Not bad. Onwards to the mission. So you try and click on these and it will say you are attempting to activate a passive module. And we've got 2 unclaimed things from this. Yes, you completed mission 7 and done mission 8. Now, there are, in total, in each of the careers, 1,000 career points available, not just 750. So to get the maximum reward of 125,000 skill points, you only need to get 3,000 career points. So you can do 3 of these to maximum, or all 4 of them just a little bit, and you will get to 3,000 pretty easily. If and when you get 750 in a single career, you will also get a big load of skill points. I can't remember how many it is. I think it's 100,000. So that's pretty nice. Okay. Well, whilst I've been chatting, we've arrived in the mission location, so let's get rid of this window. Approach the hotel. Okay, I'll turn my shield hardener on, just to reduce any kinetic damage which may or may not be taken by us. It was a trap. There's a bomb. And that little warning message there was to tell me that our shield was indeed below 50% and I should turn my shield repairer on. I will turn it back off again once we reach what I find to be an acceptable level of shield, something like 80 or 90%. And that was a low capacitor warning, telling me my capacitor is at about 35%, which was another good indicator it was time to turn off the shield booster. Okay, 1 bad guy dead. Let's keep the next one at range. And I won't turn this shield booster back on until we hit 50% shield and hear the warning tone again, just to give the capacitor some time to regenerate a little bit of itself. Because we've killed one of the three things that was shooting at us, the damage incoming has actually fallen off quite significantly, which is nice, and there's no longer a hotel exploding in our face. Hopefully just one more bad guy. In fact, I'm gonna head towards this first guy's wreck. This loot is not seeded, it is just random. So we've been quite fortunate with our loot, to be honest. And just some metal scraps. Nothing in any of the other wrecks. Mission's complete. Let's dock at the station. Just reload our weapons on the way. Shield and capacitor will be automatically and freely recharged for us in the station. That's why ships that rely on shields are pretty nice. You get free repairs every single time you dock. You would have to pay to repair the armour and structure because they do not automatically regenerate, or you can fit modules which fix them and then fix it yourself. Either way works. One more metal scrap. What can you do with metal scraps? Or you can sell them, or if you click on the industry tab, you can reprocess them. For each unit of metal scraps, we would get 500 units of tritanium, which is one of the basic building blocks for building anything in the game. Now that's assuming that we had 100% refining rate, and you can imagine we don't, and in fact 100 is pretty much impossible to get. We would probably only get about half of that. So metal scraps are only used for melting down into tritanium, but I do believe that each unit of metal scrap, yeah, it's only 0.01 cubic meters, and 250 units of tritanium, each unit is 0.01. So keeping metal scraps as a metal scraps for transporting them around is good, and then you break them down into tritanium when you reach the manufacturing plant at which you wish to build something. Anyway, let's complete this mission. Let's get to mission 9. Destroy a warehouse and report back to the agent. We'll be rewarded with a stasis webifier and some more money. So let's go and do that. And we'll just turn our shield hardener on. Another acceleration gate and some bad guys guarding it. Luckily for us, they're pretty close to the gate, so we'll just approach them. Turn on the old afterburner. We are encountering an audio bug where we have the Stargate background noise constantly. I'm going to have to relog after this mission to get rid of that. Only just realised that was a thing. Okay, first guy's dead. He's dropped some loot. Let's go and grab his loot. Metal scraps, because of course it is. Metal scraps are far from useless. They're just not as exciting as other loot, like modules. Nope, we seem to be bouncing off some scenery at the moment. That is a thing that definitely happens. I just double click away from it. Come on, move. Stupid ship. Getting stuck on scenery is extremely annoying. Some of the hitboxes are much larger than the actual physical model, and some are much smaller. Seems to be entirely arbitrary. Okay, let's target lock and approach this next target, which is all the way down towards the gate, which is good. We're still bouncing off the hitbox of this rock, even though we're nowhere near the rock. And it's another one of the many minor annoyances in EVE Online. I believe that's all the bad guys dead. Yep, nothing else showing on scope. We're within range. Well, we were within range to loot that, then we drifted out. So can we approach it, please. Now we can loot it. More metal scraps. Let's just take this gate, stack all our 5 metal scraps. Might as well reload whilst they're in warp. It only takes 5 seconds with hybrid weapons, so why not? Okay, let's hold control, draw a box in space, kill these guys. That's one down. That's 2 down. Did the second guy drop any loot? Yes, he did. Interesting. Let's target lock the final guy. And shoot at him as we fly towards the wreck of his buddy, who's now dead. Okay, let's keep it range. Oh no, he died before we could. That's good. More bad guys. I'll just loot this wreck and then approach the next set of bad guys. There's different icons to note different things. These tiny little arrows mean that they're like rookie ships, so they're much less of a threat than the triangle, which denotes frigate. Target management becomes much more important later on when you're doing much more advanced stuff. You need to be able to kill the right targets in the right order, just to stop yourself from having a bad day. More metal scraps, because of course. I believe that was quite a nice weapon we just picked up. Okay, that guy's dead. And this guy will very soon be dead. Yep. Oh, he dropped some loot as well. Just some ammo. And this wreck up here has some loot in it as well. Got quite a lot of loot in this mission, haven't we? Which is nice. More ammunition. And no loot in that guy. Okay, where's this building we have to destroy? Here it is, up here. What we have here is a 75mm gun. Pretty much the same as the ones we've got, but it's a slightly improved version of it. Let's bring the ship to a halt. Right click and show info. Here's all the variations. We have 3 of these 75mm Gatling railgun ones. We have a compressed coil gun, which has slightly better attributes all the way down. I mean, it's worth... The game reckons it's worth 110,000 ISK on average. Probably it won't get that on market. This estimated price is a game-wide average, so it really has no bearing on anything. The prices are set by players, mostly. Pretty much everything you will find on the market in the game is sold, and in most cases built by players. NPCs really only sell things like skill books. Not a bad haul. I'm not going to fit this weapon even though it's slightly better, because then we wouldn't be able to group it because it's not exactly the same as our 75mm Gatling railgun ones, and I'm feeling quite lazy. So we'd have a group of 2 and then this on its own. It's 1 extra button to press and I can't be bothered. So we'll just dump all that stuff here. Double click. Complete the mission with the agent. Request mission. Okay, we have text in red, which means pay attention. So apparently this is going to be quite difficult. And we're being given another Merlin when we accept the mission. So I think it's expecting us to lose maybe 1 ship whilst we're doing it, and a whole bunch of cash for completing it. We were given a Stasis Webifier 1, which I think we should fit, because that slows the enemy down and makes them easier to target. We'll simulate. And okay, if we turn off the shield booster, we're still cap stable with the Webifier and guns and afterburner and shield hardener on. So we're still in a good shape. Well, apparently this mission is a couple of jumps over. 2 jumps over, yes. So we've selected the yellow Stargate, clicked jump, and now we're on our way. So yeah, when we fire this at an enemy, which is within 10 kilometers, it will reduce their speed by 50%, making them easier to hit. And that's fine because our weapons only go out to about, well, much less than 10 kilometers, so we'll be able to use these in conjunction quite happily. Not that we were having big trouble hitting things, but better is better, I suppose. One more jump and we'll be in the mission location. Okay, we made it safe and sound to the mission system. I've fixed the audio bug, thank goodness. We're on the way to the mission, so we'll turn on the shield hardener. Oh, it's so much better now. That is one of the most annoying bugs in the game, and it happens all too often. After 20 years, it's still happening. And we've got more air career stuff, so we'll just claim that. Okay, there's an acceleration gate as soon as we land. Now that means this is going to drop us at a very specific point in the next room, which may or may not be good. Okay, quite a few bad guys, and we've been dropped right in front of them, which is fine for us actually. That's pretty much right within our range. So I'll just kill that guy, and then web the next guy to slow it down, and then shoot it, so we'll hit it more accurately, and then we'll web this guy, and then shoot him, and blow him up straight away. Oh, more bad guys. The guys in yellow mean that they are target locking us, but because they're not red box, means they're not shooting at us yet. That gives us a chance to kill them before they get within range to open fire at us. One of the frigates is in range, that's red box. So we'll take out the things that are yellow box because they're not actually harming us at the minute. So we'll kill them before they can harm us. This guy's the closest thing, so we'll just web it to slow it down and then shoot. The quality of your hit depends on how accurate you are, so that's another reason to use the Webifier, to be more accurate so you get better quality hits, so you actually land more damage. Like penetrates, smashes and wrecks do more than the listed damage, so they're good things to look out for. I do believe that almost all of these things drop some kind of loot. Yes, they did. Let's reload the guns and loot the field. Metal scraps. Ammo. Metal scraps. Metal scraps. Ammo. Ammo. And one more to go. Luckily for us, they were all on a big ball. More metal scraps. Okay, let's bounce through this acceleration gate and onto room 2 of this site. We should have enough ammunition to complete this mission. We have only used about 400 rounds in the 10 missions we've done. 9 missions, I should say. This is mission 10. Another acceleration gate. Interesting. Okay, let's get after this guy. Turn on our afterburner. Target him and target the one next to him. As soon as we get within 10, we'll slow it down. And then we'll just pretty much open fire. Keep it at range, keep ourselves lined up. Nice. Good, that's another one dead. These two are still on approach. Sweet. It's good when things are yellow box, because them being on direct approach means that your guns don't have to turn at all to hit them. Okay, that is an interesting little thing. Because your shield recharges on its own, this will speed up the time at which it takes to go from zero shield to full shield, and therefore increase our shield's natural regeneration. If you can fit enough of these, it can sometimes be better than, or similar, or indeed better than having a shield booster. As we know, shield boosters consume a lot of capacitor, and the natural shield regeneration does not. Might want to look into that. That might be better than a shield booster. I doubt it, but it might be. On larger ships which have lots more slots to fill, that is when that thing will be really, really good. Okay, are we within range to web this guy? Yes, we are. How about this guy? He's a little tougher than everything else, but that's fine. No more bad guys, just one wreck to loot, so I'll go and do that. And there we go.
Warp drive active.
We'll go straight through this gate. Final room. I mean, I know it's a final room because there are no more acceleration gates on the scope. 3 frigates to kill here. And apparently there's a webifying tower, but I'd rather get rid of the frigates before the webifying tower because we're not currently being webbed by it. And they are currently being webbed by us. Keep this guy at range, web him and shoot him. Slow it down so we're nicely lined up. Plop. And the last guy here, we'll just web that, shoot at him, and I'm just going to approach this wreck, take the loot out of it. Oops, accidentally target locked the wreck. I'm going to unlock it so I don't destroy it, because that would be bad. I want to loot it, not destroy it. Okay, well that's all the bad guys dead. Now it's just this stasis tower. Just bring the ship to a halt. And this thing is going down nice and quick. Boom! Done! Oops. There's something else. And notice, this thing has not appeared on the overview. This is a terrible error by the developers. This is the default overview. I started an entire new client for this. Let's right click it and add mission generic captchas to overview. Oh dear. That's not very good. Just web it, destroy it, and that'll be the end of this mission chain. Plop, there he goes. Now we have to go all the way home again. And I'll see you there.
Warp drive active.
Okay, we've made it back to the agent station. I'm just going to click and drag all the loot, other than the ammunition which we're using, into the item hanger of the station, double click on the agent and complete the mission. And I believe we've got more stuff. Oh yes, a reward bundle because we completed it, and this comes with another expert system, so we'll just claim everything and we shall redeem it. Can we see what's in this expert system? Yes, so this one gives us skills which would take us 51 days, 10 hours, 20 minutes and 54 seconds to train, which is a huge amount. Some of these skills we have already been granted by our current expert system, and some of them we haven't. Interesting. So I think we should redeem all of that, and it would instantly activate the expert system. So we should now have 2 expert systems, which for some reason are on the character sheet and not the skill sheet. So yes, this one gives us 43 skills, this one gives us 49, and we have them both for round about 3 days, which is lovely. So that's the end of the first advanced tutorial. I think in the next one we'll do the industrialist producer, because we've spent the introductory tutorial and this tutorial blowing things up most of the time, and I think it would be a nice change of pace to actually build some things. So that is what we're going to do in the next episode. I hope you come back for that, and I hope you look after yourself until then. I'll talk to you again soon.